It's been a long time coming, but we waited and now we're here in one of the most important crypto weeks for this year. And I would say one of the most important crypto weeks for the crypto lifetime, basically. Why is this so important? The importance in this here is that we are in the beginning stages of a bull rally that we have probably never seen before, because what's happening in the background is stuff that hasn't happened before, and it's on a massive scale. So we have a supply shock incoming for crypto, and for Bitcoin especially. We have the presidential elections that starts today. Tomorrow we will know who the new president for the United States of America is. It Kamala Harris or is it Donald Trump, which is said to be much more in favor for crypto and Bitcoin in general. We have the Federal Reserve interest rates decision and the FOMC meeting this week on Thursday. And this is of course super important for crypto, because if the Federal Reserve decides to cut interest rates, it means more money into the system, more liquidity, which of course means a more bullish Bitcoin, because Bitcoin first and foremost is correlated to money supply. So when the money supply increases in the world, especially the United States, Bitcoin price increases. So does this mean that we are prepped up for a massive bull run and everything will just fly high? Not too sure about it. Let's look at the technical charts and let's see what we got pro and against Bitcoin exploding right now or tomorrow at the election and hitting new all-time high. First and foremost, I'm gonna break it down technically, and I'm gonna break down the negative stuff first. So the stuff that shows that Bitcoin might actually go deeper than it is right now. And I'm gonna lay out a case why I believe that Bitcoin might be going down to 66.5K before accelerating up to a new all-time high and 80, 100,000, 150,000 BTC price or whatever. But first, the pullback. We are in a pullback right now. The question is it done? Let's look at it. First and foremost, just to recap quickly, we can see that, all right, we have cleared this bullish flag pattern. Why is it a bullish flag pattern? Because it's descending. It's a descending flag. Whenever you have a descending flag, you know that the market wants to break out above bullish, all right? And what did we do? We broke out, retested the pattern. So we retested the resistance of the pattern and then shot up all the way just shy of all-time high. So into this order block that you see here, it's a massive order blocks, and you got liquidity from all these tops laying and resting here above, creating a massive sell pressure, creating a massive resistance zone. It pushed the market down, and that's where we are right now. So the question comes to, are we finished with this pullback, or will we see it continue further down? Well, looking like this on the daily time frame on the candles, then we can see that bearish momentum has definitely been exhausted. All right, and it looks like it wants to switch to bullish. But if we go to the weekly time frame, we see something that is a bit worrying, and that is these two candles. Both these candles are strong reversal candles. So price might actually reverse from here now and push down. The question then comes to, where down will it push? So at least down to 66.5, as I mentioned before, but I can see price coming all the way down, filling a bit of this wick here, and that would put us at about 61,500. Are we going that low? We don't know, because we are still in a channel that we are respecting, and that is this channel that you see right here. It's an upsloping channel, basically forming a bearish flag. So that also talks or speaks in the advantage of us dropping further down, clearing the liquidity that is built up by the structure. So this structure has built up liquidity, but we have also liquidity that is resting there, as you can see here on the liquidity map. As you can see, the majority of the liquidity is resting all the way down to 66,500. There we have almost 2 billion in liquidity resting. And market would want to sweep that before we push higher and take out all the buy side liquidity, so all the sellers. Another thing that speaks against us moving higher from here and instead pushing downwards is the fear and greed index that today is at 70, which is quite greedy. And when the market is greedy, that is when the market makers love to go against them. But that is the negative stuff. That is what I see against the price moving higher right now and actually continuing its pullback deeper down. But now let's look at all the positive stuff, and I can say it's much more positive stuff than negative stuff here. All right, so first and foremost, looking at this just structure wise, we are still in this beautiful up channel that we have here. This weekend market came down, respected it well, did not pierce through. And the question is, will this structure hold until the election that is just tomorrow, and even up until the Federal Reserve meeting interest rate decisions that is here on Thursday, the 7th of November? Even if we break out from this channel and sweep the liquidity here at 66,500, I think that will be a quick sweep and we will bounce up very fast. And this is due to a supply shock. Now, look at this. You got Bitcoin becoming increasingly scarce. Why is it scarce? Because the demand for it is exploding while the supply for it is stuck, is fixed. So let's say, for example, you have MicroStrategy. Michael Saylor just announced that he wants to accumulate about $42 billion worth of Bitcoin in the next coming 3 years. Now set BTC at a price of 100K per BTC, per Bitcoin. That will make it about 420,000 Bitcoins that he wants to accumulate in the coming 3 years. Now, there will not be minted more than 492,000 new Bitcoins in the coming 3 years. And just to put things in perspective, that means he will buy the whole new supply that comes out. And in the same time, if we look back in the just past 2 weeks, BlackRock, VanEck, Fidelity, and all of them accumulated in total 370,000 Bitcoins in the past 2 weeks for their spot ETFs. So just to put it in perspective, there's a massive demand incoming. There's already a massive demand, but there's more demand incoming. There's more companies that are applying the MicroStrategy strategy, which is stock up your reserves with Bitcoin. Even the US government is thinking about doing it. Donald Trump said it. If he wins, he will make Bitcoin the national reserve asset. Even Microsoft, one of the biggest companies in the world, are now having a share vote on if they are going to stockpile Bitcoin as their reserve asset. And there's much, much more. Central banks all over the world are considering doing this. So guys, I can only see an explosive demand for Bitcoin coming ahead while the supply remains the same. And also, one very important thing is because a lot of people say, oh yeah, what if Bitcoin goes to zero? What if Bitcoin goes to 30,000, 10,000, whatever? First and foremost, it's the same thing every bull run. People are skeptic and say, what if? Yeah, there's a lot of what if. If World War III explodes tomorrow, then maybe Bitcoin goes to zero. And maybe we'll have a lot of crazy events in the financial markets and in the crypto markets. But then again, institutions like BlackRock, like VanEck, like Fidelity, like MicroStrategy, Microsoft, these guys don't even consider entering Bitcoin if they don't see a 3, 5, 10-year plan ahead. So if they cannot at least 10, 20x on the asset they are investing into, they will not consider it. Always follow the big money. Always follow the smart money. They know what they're doing. They have information that we don't have. They have insight that we don't have. And they can affect and lobby decisions, regulators, politicians in a way that we absolutely can't. So let's get back to the technical. Bitcoin, as I said, might push a little bit lower. 66.5K is what I'm looking at. And from there, bounce up and get a catapultic effect upwards. Now, if we take a look at Ethereum, then we see everything slightly different. We have an ascending triangle here. So price is being squeezed against this resistance that you guys see here. And that is a very strong resistance that has been going on ever since this order block that is over there. Every time market hit it, it rejected it immediately. But in the same time, we have created higher lows. So market is squeezing against it. What it looks like right now is that we are going to have a breakout eventually. Might have a little quick sweep of all these stop losses that are piled up here. So a little wick and then schmuck. We break above this. It all depends on volume. We need to see that there's a good amount of volume. And once we break above the 2,700-ish level up to 2,800, I would say 2,800 is like the magic number that we need to break above. You can even put a line there. That is the line that we need to break above. Then we take out these tops. So once we take out these tops at 2,800, I see clear range up until 3,200 approximately. And up from there is just heading towards all-time high. Now the thing with Ethereum is we have the ETFs approved, right? But in the same time, they are approved, but we don't see that massive demand coming in like we see with Bitcoin. And there's a lot of people that believe that this is a deliberate price manipulation, or market makers are holding back the price on purpose. Why is that? Because here's the thing. BlackRock, Vanek, and all of them are going into something called the tokenization of real world assets. So what is that? That is tokenization of anything from bonds, gold, whatever. Instead of you buying ETFs or buying shares and so on, you can actually buy tokens of that. And it's just much more efficient and secure on the blockchain. And finally, yeah, these institutions have come to realize it, something that we have talked about for years now. A lot of these projects, these tokenization projects, these tokenizations of real world assets are going to happen on the Ethereum blockchain. So Ethereum is due to a massive explosion, but nothing has happened yet. And this squeeze that we see right now here might be what is going to result in just a massive explosion upwards. We need to see demand build up properly. But what we have here is, of course, accumulation, and it's some heavy accumulation. So we will see how market reacts to this and where it takes us. A quick one on Solana. Solana, as you see, is also inside a triangle, and it has hit a level at 163 where I see a possible entry for a trade. All right. So what is that level? Yeah, first and foremost, we are inside this triangle that I said. It's a bullish triangle, so we want to see this thing, of course, break out above. Same thing like Ethereum, but a little bit different. Market is being squeezed together. We see higher lows and we see lower highs being formed with a bullish pennant. Market is now, if we pull the Fibonacci from all-time high all the way to the lowest point that we had during the bear market, then we will see that market is now respecting the 61.8 very well. And it's of course also previous structure from that you can see from here that is creating support for the market. So what we have seen now is market break out of this resistance here, broke above and came back and now retested it perfect. All right, so we have a perfect retest of the structure of the 61.8. And it just looks set up when I look at it for a breakout from this triangle. Another thing that speaks well for this thesis is that we have had this nice liquidity sweep here with this wick that you see going down on the 4-hourly. You see also the structure beautifully and pulling Fibonacci from the last swing, the last major swing that we had. You see that market came back perfectly to 50% Fibonacci retracement. Looking at SUI, it's very, very similar. We don't have a triangle in the same way, but we have a very bullish SUI, as you can see. We took all-time high, and that was at about 14th of October. We went all the way up to 2.37-ish, almost. I would say 2.36 and a half. Swept the all-time high at about 2.2. From there, we had a good pullback all the way down to this order block that you see here at about 1.63. And as you can see, this order block is also a very respected support level. What did market do? It dipped in very nicely, created support here at about 1.75, but then wicked down, grabbed liquidity from the zone, and then pushed up perfectly, came back down to retest this order block that was created. And as you can see, the wick here just grabbed the liquidity perfectly and now is giving signs that it actually wants to push further up. What are those signs? Is this bullish flag that has formed here, very steep flag. And up here, as I always say, it's a lot of liquidity resting. The market wants to sweep. On the 4-hourly, you will see that market has created a nice little reversal doji here. We might get a nice little extra sweep and then push further up. If you want to take this trade, I would set the stop loss below this wick here just to be safe, just to be conservative. But let's say you want to amp up your risk to reward, you feel a little bit risky, then have it below this wick that you see here, and that will put you at about 1.8. But my tip is just to be safe, put it at 1.796. That should be good. Remember that over leveraged traders are not money makers. They are money givers to those that are patient in the market. Patience is key. You will make money on this bull run, but you will not make it tomorrow or the next hour. You will make it over the long run. And that is how you got to see it. You got to see it as a marathon. But with that said, guys, that's all I have for this weekly crypto market overview. If I forgot something, leave it in the comments below and I'll bring it up in the next video. And remember, just because crypto has rallied every single election that has been, it hasn't rallied directly on the hour or on the day the election has been. Sometimes it has taken about 3, 4, 5 days before the rally has started, and it has been massive. So don't expect crypto to just fly tomorrow if Donald Trump wins, and be ready for a massive dump if Kamala Harris wins. But I'm leaving y'all with this for now. Probably follow up tomorrow or on Thursday, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.